Thank you for being here at PyCon Colombia 2020.
Thank you.
As a starting question, could you give us a brief description of what Linode is or what the company does?
So, Linode is the largest independent cloud provider in the world. So, we offer cloud hosting, cloud computing, and other services that help people develop and design and innovate on the cloud.
Which are like the common clients that the company, or which services that the company offer, like cloud support or?
So we have, our compute power, which is, servers and that we handpick the hardware for to make the most efficient and most powerful machines that we can, so that we have a good price to performance ratio. But we also offer object storage, block storage, Kubernetes. We have a grade A networking system. We also have a 365-day support that is free with no tiers, no cost to the customer.
Okay. Do you consider that your customer support is like your key differentiator with respect to other companies, or what other things does the company be like the real difference compared with others?
Absolutely. I think the customer support is the largest, or one of the largest differentiators that we have to offer. But I think one of the biggest ones that allows us to have such a rich customer support experience is our independence. So Linode is a private company, so we don't have to answer to investors. And that means that we can create a world-class customer experience, and that we can continue our mission to make cloud computing simple, affordable, and accessible to everyone.
As a private company, does Linode develop private software, or are you also committed to open source?
We are very committed to open source. A lot of our products are developed in the open on GitHub. We welcome contributors. We send them gifts when they contribute code to us. We have a Write for Linode program that's going on right now, which allows people in the community, in the open source community, to write documentation that is agnostic to Linode. It's about the cloud, about computers, about programming, and we actually pay them to do it. So we pay people to make open source contributions because that's how much it means to us.
Oh, nice. Related to I don't know, there's a famous not famous, like a very word that has become really popular right now, which is alternative cloud. Could you give us like a brief definition of what alternative cloud is?
An alternative cloud provider is one that offers all of the core primitives that somebody needs to develop, deploy, and scale on the cloud. But there's more nuance to it, because there has to be a global network. It can't be somebody with a data center in their basement that has block storage attached to it. An alternative cloud provider has to have a global network, extensive documentation, an API. They have to have the ability to offer customer support 365 days a year, and they have to be able to guarantee uptime. And I think that there are several alternative cloud providers, of which we are one of them, and it is a growing movement that we're very happy to be a part of.
One question, because you also, talking to you previously, you are also very you try to be really careful about documentation. How do you handle errors related to documentation, like orthography or terminologies, grammar?
So the reason that Linode has such extensive documentation is because we want to inspire confidence in the open source community to develop and deploy on the cloud. And that's why we write agnostic documentation. But because we have a lot of contributors and a lot of people in the open source that want to contribute to this, we had to have an answer for what you're saying, which is grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, etc. And so what we've designed is a CI/CD pipeline that actually using free software called Veil, that actually tests grammar and style points that we think are necessary to have accurate documentation. And so when you make a commit, Travis runs a series of integrated tests to check for 404s and other various formatting mistakes. But then we also run Veil, which checks for spelling mistakes, grammatical issues, etc. And it has made the process of contributing to our documentation much simpler for our team of writers and editors, but also much more fun and enjoyable for the open source community that wants to be a part of it, because it allows them to take more confidence, or to be more confident in writing documentation, or assisting us in writing documentation or editing documentation, without having to worry about their writing skills. You know, we have engineers that help us, and they shouldn't have to worry about whether or not they know where a comma goes. And so we take that worry out of the picture.
Okay, nice. Since this is a Python conference, what are the common applications where Linode use Python code?
Sure. At Linode, Python is in everything. You know, our documentation, all those tests are written in Python. Our CLI, which is open source, completely written in Python. We use Django. For some things, we use Flask. We are at every stage, on every team, writing tests in Python, integration scripts in Python, deployment scripts in Python. And I think the commitment that Linode has to the Python community, and it's been this way for many years, goes beyond attending PyCons, because while we do attend a lot of PyCons, I think we've attended every PyCon in North America for several years, but it's also a commitment to the code and the style of the code.
And which was the decision of like being a sponsor for PyCon in Colombia?
We want to build a data center in South America.
Okay.
Because we want to help service the developers in Latin America as a whole, Central and South America. And to do that, we want to be able to have something to offer the companies and the individual developers here. So when we decided to start coming, last year we went to Mexico for PyCon, and this year we're here in Colombia. We decided to come here. Our hope is really to just talk to people and to really better understand the needs of the developers here and the developer community here. Without that, we wouldn't be who we are. And so something that I've been doing since I've gotten here to Colombia is just asking people what their needs are in the cloud and what services they need, which one of our core primitives are they already using. And something that I keep finding is that, people are very happy to talk about their projects, and like people are, talking to CEOs and CTOs, that when they see the primitives that we offer, the service and support, and we actually just released a calculator that shows your Linode pricing comparatively to some of our competitors. And when you show that to people, their jaws drop. And so we're not here to sell cloud. We're here to understand. We're here to join the community. We're here to empower not just Colombian developers, but all Latin American developers to innovate on the cloud.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions that I have. Thanks again for being here. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Medellin is good right now. It's a good place. The food is nice. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you.